So how do we take this whole big overwhelming task and boil it down to step by step? It all begins with the kitchen magnet. Well, I need to tell you the story of the magnet, and that's just basically that when I was a young mom, I was pretty overwhelmed by what I was learning about processed foods, and I realized I didn't want to feed those to my kids, which led me to a minor question of, what the heck am I going to feed them?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know what to feed them. I couldn't do this, I shouldn't buy that. I started reading labels, I saw what was in processed food. I didn't want any of that in my children. So I realized that I needed to make a list, and I made a list of nutrient-dense foods. These were the foods that history have proven over and over again that they are good and safe and nourishing to the human body. These are the foods that are promoted as traditional foods. Okay, so I made this list and I worked it the best way I could, and I wrote it down, I slapped it up on my refrigerator so that every time I went to the refrigerator to cook, I knew I was reminded over and over and over again that these were the foods that I needed to concentrate on. When I took this list, I made it into a magnet and I gave it to friends. It did the same thing for them. It really helped them transform their table. And the beauty of it is that it's so simple.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's nothing short of brilliant, because everybody out there tells us what we should be eating. You know, the latest, the greatest. Mm-hmm. But really to look at history and traditional foods, that's where you're going to get your assurance that you're feeding your family the best. Mm-hmm. You know, the time-honored foods of tradition.
Right. And who knew what traditional foods were? 15, 20 years ago, I didn't understand what traditional foods were. No. So I had to reprogram my mind into what real foods were, and this is what did it for me.
Well, and where your focus goes, your energy goes. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I think it's brilliant to put something on your refrigerator, so as a constant reminder of these are the things that are going to build my family. And then from there on, purposing to have those inside your refrigerator, purposing to have those on your table.
Right.
It's just a go-to reminder of the things that are going to accomplish your goals.
Right. And it also became a litmus test of what I should and shouldn't have in my kitchen. For example, any processed food that wasn't on here, which this doesn't have any processed foods on it.
Didn't make the cut.
Right. And because I didn't want to feed those to my kids anyway. But I needed this structure. And obviously a lot of other women needed that structure
Absolutely.
as well. But the processed foods like boxed cereals, grocery salad dressings, imitation butters, imitation cheeses.
Fake food.
Yeah, fake food. It wasn't on this list. It didn't make it into my kitchen, therefore it didn't make it to my table.
And see, that's the negative side. You know, those are the bad things that don't make it to your table. And that's where a lot of us get swamped. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't have this, oh my gosh, you know, I'm not going to make it. Mm-hmm. But this is a more positive, because you're looking at what you can have. You're opening up your refrigerator and you're looking at what you can eat.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, you have people like my husband and my son who open up the refrigerator and they still don't know what to do with it. But we'll get you there. That's coming next.